Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Completely Pointless Podcast. This is episode 17, and joined by your usual suspects, it is myself, Nicholas, and...
You got Jeremy.
And you got Brandon.
All right. Now, on today's podcast, I figured we started off on kind of the, political side of things and the perspective of, is it better to, is there a problem with, not paying, ignoring politics and, the whole, social side of that, right? Because you have a lot of people on the side of you have to pay super close attention and kind of devote a portion of your life to actually seeing what's going on in politics and around you.
Yeah.
But then you have on the other side a lot of people just completely ignore it and just live in peace.
Right.
Which
Even now I still am not that interested in most politics, but I do definitely pay more attention now. I guess because I'm an actual adult than I used to. But I remember people would ask me questions about stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, and I don't care, and then they would get all huffy. Oh, you should pay attention. I'm like, eh.
I kind of have the perspective of even though I pay attention and see what's going on, it's not like anything I can do can really make a difference as an individual. Because I mean, there's so many people in the world. My one opinion really isn't going to make much of a difference, especially because I'm, not exactly famous or, known for having the highest political intelligence.
Yeah.
Or knowledge. So I don't know. I think people will say every vote counts. I don't agree. I don't think every vote counts. I don't think it matters for the most part because most people who vote are uninformed anyways.
That's true, but I think it's I also agree with you that I don't think any vote or any singular vote matters, especially with the way if you're talking about presidential elections here in the US, your vote does not matter at all. It matters what state you live in, and that's it.
Yeah.
Even because who was it? Someone was like, well, what if your candidate only won or only lost by a few thousand votes. If you and all the other, damn millennials got out there and voted, you could have made them won. I was like, no, because your vote doesn't even count in the actual election. It goes to the electoral college, and then they can vote on whatever the fuck they want. They don't have to go with you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to they're supposed to follow the constituents of their region or whatever.
Well,
But
yeah. But they have
there's
no
no
legal ramifications for not
yeah.
doing that.
They could be like, "Oh, my entire district voted Republican, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to vote for the Democrat."
Yeah, and that's happened multiple times. Whoever the
Yeah.
electoral college, I don't know what they're called, just was like, yeah, no, even though this is a blue state, now we're voting red.
Yeah.
Because it's things like that that make me even more skeptical to actually get involved in anything political. Because kind of like you were saying, Nick, is I feel that nothing I do is actually going to change anything. And if I want something to change, my best option would be just, moving somewhere with politics that I agree with.
Right, and I think there's kind of a fine balance, right? Because if you completely ignore it, then you have the possibility of doing illegal activities and such based on the laws of your state. So I think there's a fine balance, right? If you get too wrapped up into politics, then it can drive you fucking insane. Because I've seen it happen to multiple people I know. They get way too into it, fall down the rabbit hole, and then start following conspiracy theories and shit like that way too heavily. And but then there's also the point, if you don't pay attention enough, then you're going to be clueless and possibly breaking laws and getting yourself into more trouble than you would have if you paid just slightly more attention. Yeah. But it's I think there's a balance there, right? Pay attention so you're informed, but don't pay too much attention so you can live a happy life, because politics is so corrupt now that, I mean.
Yeah, well, but you would also a lot of the older generations, and even some of the younger ones, because they people riot for certain things or protest for certain things, depending on what they what they want. But for the most part, I feel like now we're all just kind of accepting of it. Like we don't expect it to
Yeah,
get better. There's a
I
lot of
think everybody's just
pessimism around it.
fucking tired. Yeah, we're
Well,
all pessimistic
because
about it.
we already all know that politics just goes to the highest bidder. It
Yep.
doesn't go to the people, it just goes to whatever corporation is paying them off.
Yeah. Which, man, I honestly think is, well, I don't know why it's not a thing. If you're in any form of political power, it could be just the mayor of a city, you should not be allowed in any way to invest in stocks, do any kind of like trading, anything like that, because you have too much power and sway over that stuff to not make it fair, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
think I think if you're in any form of politics, then you shouldn't be allowed to do stock market trading or anything like that because you directly influence that stuff. It's a conflict of interest.
Exactly. It makes it so that you
Yeah.
have an ulterior motive besides what do my people want. You're like, well, this will get me more money.
Dude, and their reasoning behind still allowing themselves to openly trade in the stock market is, oh, well, it's supposed to be a free and open market. It's like, yeah, but it's not free and open if you control what happens with it.
Yeah.
Right? That's you're fucking contradicting yourself.
Yeah.
Right? If you directly influence what happens in this free and open market, then it's not free and open. You're just taking advantage of people who can't stop you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real weird because the positions of like politics and politicians, their entire thing should be they want to be selfless, right? Like ideally they would go into these positions with the idea of I want to make the world a better place. This isn't for my benefit, it's for my children's benefit and all of the people that, my countrymen's benefit. But in actuality, what seems to happen is people only go into politics because they want the power of it.
Yeah.
And so it just
Yeah.
takes it
Power and
from,
money.
yeah, it just takes it from what should be a selfless position and makes it a purely money backed position, which is just terrible. And
Because it's like, why the fuck does the president still get paid whenever they're out of office?
yeah, they're not doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, fuck them, dude. I mean, thank you for your service, but holy shit, get the fuck out of here. Quit taking taxpayer money for doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. See, I think they should maybe get a little bit because of the position that they were put in and all the information they have and all of this stuff. You don't want to make them desperate because then that could lead to some real bad things. So they should
That's
get
fair.
some money, but not the amount of money they're getting. I don't know the
I
exact
think
number.
it's 200,000 or 400,000 a year
Yeah, that's
after residency.
insane. And they've
That's absolutely
Mhm.
insane.
like that's just so much money for someone who does nothing. Gets like free uh or free security. I'm sure most of them have just like been given property.
Oh yeah, I mean they get given shit all the time just from other politicians and companies, lobbyists who are trying to you know, get them to pass a bill that they want.
I know. It's just insane that it seems who is it? Someone said, and it's a pretty common saying, but they're saying that it's very expensive to be poor
Yep.
Yeah.
because you don't, like for us, we're all renting houses. If we have a house that we don't have to pay for monthly, we would be saving money. But we can't because we don't have the money to buy a house. So, like these presidents that already have all this stuff, have all this property, have all this I'm sure they get, free vehicles because they still get the big like SUV limos, right? After they stop or
The
they're not in office anymore.
presidents, both acting and former, are not allowed to drive themselves anywhere.
Yeah, which is
Like
just
physically
insane,
against policy, they cannot drive themselves. So
right?
they
So then,
still have protection and are driven everywhere they want to go or need to go.
So then they're driven everywhere, so they probably don't pay for gas. So the insane gas prices mean nothing to them.
Yep.
Like it's crazy that they are so pampered when they're supposed to be taking or making policies for people that they have nothing in common with.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it too, I mean, they're so detached that the policies they put in place don't even affect them at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're at that point of detached from actual society that, I mean, you have no idea what the policies you do actually do to people.
It's like
Yeah.
the idea of whenever people get get hired for like manager positions. I don't think anyone should be a manager or any high position, to a certain degree, that has not actually done the work
Yeah.
because they don't know what it takes. They don't understand what to do. Like there is some position that's fine, like there's some that's just purely paperwork or something like that. So like of course they don't need to know how to move boxes to do that, but like
Yeah.
like it just doesn't make sense that they would for someone to get up there to be giving orders to a bunch of people and setting rules for them when they have absolutely no idea what it is to actually do that job or be in their position.
And transition into the manager talk, I mean, a lot of times they don't understand the actual deadlines and how long it takes to do these certain tasks because they've never done them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just
And
Or
then you have
even if
unrealistic.
they have done them, say they were like so here's another thing behind that though is like say you do work your way through it and you do work your way up to manager, but you were really good at your job and you could do stuff in a certain amount of time so that when you become manager you expect everybody else to finish it in the same amount of time as you did. So your expectation is still off base even though you did that job.
yeah. But see, but I feel like there's a difference there because even though, what you were doing was better, you still understand what it takes to do the job, and some people, yeah, can't make the separation that, oh, maybe I was just a prodigy at this, but you still understand that it does what it takes for other people to do the job, and so you still be better at it than someone who has no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know,
I
like
also
or,
try to look at the perspective of like, if I say we're to become a manager at some point, I've seen the guys who can put out a lot of like a high volume of workload, and I've also seen the guys who can't. So I think you got to
Yeah.
know your people, which I think is part of what makes a good manager.
True.
well, but even you could kind of make the same, um, kind of some of the same arguments with politicians as you can like managers, right? That once you get over somebody, like you're working in a managerial position, your main goal should be to help the people that are under you, right? But it's
Mhm.
not, it's make money for the people above you.
Yeah.
Basically, everything sucks. It does. It fascinates me because it is probably nothing's ever really changed. Everything's kind of been the same, but it really does feel like these last couple of generations are just very pessimistic and very beaten down when it comes to just
Yeah.
everything. They're like, another pedophile working for the state senate. What can you do, right? That's at least he was just a pedophile, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is super sad. I mean, it's kind of gotten to
Yeah,
the
it's super
point to
fucked
where,
off.
and it's gotten to the point now to where like we've already said there needs to be term limits, and that hasn't happened. I mean, there's been so many conversations about what should happen, but nothing ever does.
Yeah.
I do think dude, there should be an upper age limit for all offices, all of them, every single one of them.
Oh,
I agree.
100%.
Once you get past like 50, you should not be in charge of anything anymore. I'm sorry.
No, I agree, and that's like, I mean, I think we brought this up before that air traffic controllers have to be out of the, like, they can't stay in the position after the age of 54. I think.
Right? Because it's just
Yeah.
crazy. Like, what do you know? Like, the majority of the populace is what the big gap is like 25 to 40 or something like that, where the majority of the populace is. And
Yeah.
so shouldn't you represent the majority?
Never.
Never. Let's just put more 80-year-olds in the office.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
People that
People that have
that's
lead poisoning and are fucking brain dead almost at this point.
yeah. Well, that's like my whole thing behind term limits is you have people making policy for generations that have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, I mean,
Like,
even we're still in a very young generation, but I still see a huge difference in the people younger than us from like our
yeah.
age group and so I just don't think it's fair for us to tell them what they should do.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
it shouldn't be the average age of Senate. Like, it shouldn't be 2 to 3 generations older than the majority of people.
Yeah.
Which it is. I mean, look at our
Yeah.
fucking president. Our president's a dementia-ridden fucking ancient man. I mean, I think he's in his 80s.
79, right?
Close fucking enough.
Something like that. Way
And
too
like
old to be
we
president.
all have like grandparents, right? And like my
Dude.
grandparents
God.
died at um age like 89 and 86 or something like that, and they're in their late 80s.
Mhm.
And dude, they were so gone before then.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I love my grandparents, but they are losing it, alright? Like, they should not be in charge of anything.
no, yeah. That's how I feel.
Take that same person and give them, the power
All
to tweet at someone and cause a war.
yeah,
Right.
it's
I still think, and this could be a totally unbased opinion, but I don't think we even need a president anymore. What's the point? Who
I
needs
kind of feel that.
presidents? They're useless.
It's just the figurehead.
Exactly, which means we don't need them.
I agree.
Should riot.
I mean, it may come down to that at some point. Honestly, I feel like it's there's going to be a tipping point, but the politicians seem to be like smarter than we give them credit for, or the people who are their advisors and shit. Because most of the things they do to remove control away from the normal people is a very slow kind of burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take it piece by piece so no one notices until it's all gone.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know. Well, even then, none of us even really have any power to begin with, just with the way our government is set up. Because even though we say we're a democracy, we're really not. Like, we all get to quote unquote vote, but again, that doesn't actually affect anything. And you pay your taxes. If you don't pay your taxes, you get arrested and fined. And so, like, you can't even choose to not give the people you don't agree with money because you're gonna get punished for it. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
let's go start our own country. We'll call it Pointlandia, and you can do whatever you want as long as it's between consenting adults.
Yes.
Well, so question though. So kind of to bring it all the way back, Nick was saying, do y'all think we should be out there pushing back harder against this stuff? Do you think we are
Oh.
required to be pushing back against this stuff? Better of humanity.
I
I want to say yeah, but at the same time, I mean, it's like I don't feel like that should be a necessity.
Yeah, right. Like it shouldn't fall onto us to fix the problems.
Right, like it shouldn't be
Yeah.
a problem in the first place, in my opinion.
True. But I mean, it is a problem, and
And
somebody's got to fix it.
I think there's a better way of going about it.
And
Actually like working through the process and stuff like that. Right, not just resorting to being violent or what have you.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's
But
also
I think that's starting to happen already, though. I mean, you're seeing younger people getting into politics, and
Yeah, and starting to actually riot about things. Not riot,
yeah,
protest about things. I keep saying riot,
protest.
but really haven't been any riots.
yeah, well, the riots are always about like racial issues or guns issues.
Yeah, I mean that and like the abortion one is not really riots, but they've been getting kind of heated.
Yeah.
But also, did y'all see in or was it Florida, I think, where they just banned or they just put a new law into effect that makes it so you can't protest on private property anymore. Um, or maybe not private property, but the property of government officials, because people
Huh.
were going to the house of one of the senators for Florida. I think it was a senator, and were just like camped outside of his house, screaming chants and had signs and stuff. And so they just outright blocked it. I think if you get told once, it's just a warning, but then after that, it's like a $3,000 fine and 60 days in jail. Like, it
God
goes
damn.
pretty hard, pretty fast. But so, do you guys think that that's okay? Do you think that people should have the right to inconvenience their government officials?
Yes, I mean it comes with the territory.
Fair, Brandon?
I mean, it's one of those deals where, like, yes, of course, they should be able to protest there, but anything more than that, of course, has to be controlled.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you
absolutely.
can't be doing illegal shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is it should never be violent, right? Like
Yeah.
it should never be riots or any violent things. But yeah, kind of like Nick, I think yeah, it's like we talked about it in terms of like internet celebrities, right? Like once you get to a certain point of popularity or you take a job where you're in control of a ton of people's lives, you just kind of have to accept the fact that you are no longer a private citizen anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's not an idiot would, would realize, oh well, I'm gonna be a politician now, so there goes basically all of my privacy and, um, you know,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to give it all up to actually or to do the
because
job.
it's been proven that due process doesn't fucking work, right? So to get what we want, of course, we're gonna have to stoop to our own means. And as long as you're not doing anything illegal, I think it's fine.
Yeah, but it is illegal now, so suck it. Well, I think I heard something else where they're also trying to make it illegal to protest on public property, which
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's an
so
just
infringement of
yeah,
rights.
that's just insane. So
yeah, that's like easily arguable that it's against the fucking Constitution. Like,
yeah, because it's
that's one
public
of
property.
those
So
unalienable rights that they gave us in the Constitution, so they can't fucking just say, "Oh no, I'm taking that away."
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the right to protest.
Yeah.
exactly. And so well, but to kind of tie it in with another topic, there was a state that made camping on public property illegal. They're
Oh, I
basically
actually know about this one.
yeah, their sole intention with it was really just to make it so they could arrest homeless people that
Yeah.
were camping, sleeping on benches and stuff like that, just to give them some kind of justification for it. And see, that's where I start like getting kind of weird because those homeless people probably don't pay taxes. So do you think that they have the right to be on that public property?
Well, the thing with that too is like the fine for camping on public property or what have you is like something like ridiculous, like a $50,000 fine or like 6 years in prison or something crazy like that. But the fine for or the penalty for camping on private property is only like a 30-day stay in jail or something like
Oh
that. So they were saying to all these homeless people and shit to be like, fuck camping in the parks and shit. Just go camp in your local politician's front yard,
oh yeah,
and then you'll get a free week stay in
yeah, free
jail.
food and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because man, like I was telling Brandon last night, I've seen some crazy homeless people. All right, they're crazy, and it's just a bench. Let them sleep there.
Right.
Nobody uses public benches anyways. They're gross.
Weird how we treat people.
Yeah, it's like the one of the topics I always find interesting is like the debate on taxes, on like should we be paying taxes, how much higher should we be paying taxes, what should our taxes be going to? Because it seems crazy to me that we pay all these taxes and get nothing from it, like
Ah,
nothing.
dude, you get road maintenance, you get police
The roads
officers.
are awful. The police just harass people. like, do we really get that much from it? Not really. Like
Nah,
I'm
yeah, dude,
paying
we
my
gotta
monthly
we gotta.
subscription and the whole servers are down, not even getting all my free content.
Mad facts. That's how it be though.
But it's not even fucking like the federal taxes we pay off of our paychecks. That's not even what maintains the
Yeah, it's
roads.
the state.
Sales
Yeah,
tax maintains the roads.
right. Like I'm paying multiple because we pay. I'm pretty sure we have a city tax and a state tax and a federal tax that are all tacked into the sales tax around here. And
Mhm.
so, why am I paying all this money to people and getting nothing?
Yeah.
It's a good fucking question.
Want free stuff, basically. Give me free stuff. It's not even free. I'm paying for it already. Give it to me.
Yeah. Good luck.
So, do y'all think y'all would ever want to move to a different country?
Yeah, I was actually looking into moving to Norway.
Oh,
Kind of cool.
They have the highest. They're like rated number one in quality of life.
Yeah,
Also,
and
Norway's fucking beautiful.
yeah, it is.
yeah.
Well, they also have fairly high taxes, right? Like, but
Yeah, but
they get free
well,
everything.
yeah, that you get free education at like really prestigious universities, as well as their pay rates are way better. So like
Dude,
you essentially like you don't even notice the high taxes because you make so much more money
right? That's
in
another
comparison to
thing.
someone who would like live in the U.S.
I just want to make one more little point about the tax there, the pay thing, is that people who make $400,000 a year shouldn't be telling me what the minimum wage is. Fuck them. They don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
continue Norway. Yeah.
Well, it's also the brilliance of their whole tax, like the whole tax brackets in the US, because, you know, like they're incremental and they go up,
Hmm.
but all income from 400,000 to unlimited basically is taxed at like 52%. So
Yeah.
you're paying the government more than you take home
Yeah, but there's also ways to
on
get
that
around
chunk
that.
of your income.
Like there's
Well, of
ways
course there's
there's
ways to get
so
around
many
it,
ways to
but
get around that.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have to get around it. It should work for me.
Well, I see. The problem is though, the wealthy have these ways of getting around it because they can pay financial advisors and shit like that,
Yeah.
and they're friends with other people who make shitloads of money, so they tell them the ways to do this. And of course, you can find out all this stuff on your own, but it doesn't really help us like the normal people as much as it does them. Like donating, for instance, every time you go to like a fast food restaurant or like a grocery store or something, and it asks, "Hey, would you like to donate to this charity?" Every time you do that, they're using that money as a tax break.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's a free tax break for those fucking corporations because they take, that dollar you donated, they take and donate 30 cents of it, and then they write off the whole dollar.
Yeah, which is another thing is I think one of my biggest problems with like our tax system is that the majority of it goes to the military, which, you can make your arguments about how good the military is and we need it and all that jazz. But it shouldn't be the majority, man. The majority should be going back to us. Like it should be going
Well,
towards
fuck education,
yeah,
public safety, fucking
healthcare, like anything to improve our lives. Because what is us having the first and second largest military do for us? Like nothing.
bro,
People
we
always make the
have
argument, though, that's why the U.S. has never been invaded.
That and we have two neighboring countries.
Well, who needs a fucking army whenever every single citizen of the United States has a gun?
yeah.
That
But
too.
so also like so there's been talks of like government subsidized healthcare, right?
Yeah.
So free healthcare. But everybody's like, "Oh, it's gonna spike our taxes, blah 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 blah." It's like, yeah, take like, a quarter of the budget for the military and just put it to that.
Yeah.
Nobody's taxes increase, but we've got, free healthcare now.
Yeah. Right. Well, because like
Or
I was
or
talking.
actual affordable healthcare.
Yeah. Because I was talking with one of the guys I work with, and because someone from a different job or from a different company that I go to school with, they had a guy get just a panel blew up in his face, a 400 amp panel, and so
Mhm.
he had third degree burns. Like I think he's blind in one eye or something, like real bad stuff, right? And
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
were talking about, man, that must have cost so much. And then we got onto the topic of if I ever hurt myself or like have to go to the hospital, it will bankrupt me. Like I
Yeah.
cannot afford it. It
Yep.
for anything. So it's just crazy that I can't even like go to like the people that whenever I'm sick and I mean, at the place I used to work, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna need a doctor's note," and I'm like, you don't give me insurance. You can't demand a doctor's note from me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I can't afford that. I'm broke."
That's always the funniest to me, work requiring a doctor's note. I'm like, why, bro?
Yeah, just because they.
Prove you were sick.
Well,
Well,
that's the thing is I don't have to prove anything.
yeah.
I don't even say I'm sick anymore. I just say, "Hey, I'm not gonna make it to work."
Yeah.
Uh,
Like
Man,
because we're an at-will state. That's all it
exactly.
requires.
And man, one thing that I'm super jealous about other countries for is how much PTO they get. They just get like 5 weeks of PTO, like required. That's the minimum. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
insane. I could take off a day a week for like a year. It's
No,
still
yeah,
get paid for it.
a lot of European companies also have unlimited PTO.
Yeah, which I've heard that's actually uh bad, quote unquote.
Well, so I've actually seen something on that, and it's like they did like a double blind study or whatever between a company that was given 4 weeks a year PTO, unlimited PTO, or uh no PTO. The people with no PTO missed the most amount of days. The people with 4 weeks of PTO used all 4 weeks, and the people with unlimited PTO usually averaged about 2.5 to 3 weeks of actual used PTO.
Yeah, so they have it, but they don't actually use it.
Yeah.
Because if you have a limit, especially if it doesn't like roll over anything, then the mindset is, well, I have to use this. I have to
Well,
use my
yeah,
limit.
because usually if you're given that limited amount, that means this is extra pay for the year.
Yeah.
But I also know a lot of companies won't roll over, but at the end
Yeah,
of the
mine
year,
doesn't.
they'll pay you for it.
Yeah,
Mine
they'll
doesn't
pay it
do
out.
either. They don't
See,
roll over and they don't pay you out, so you have to use them.
Ours does an interesting thing, and I don't actually know if it's legal or not. No. But you can bank your overtime into PTO. So like
Yeah.
if you however many hours you get, say you get 5 hours over, you bank it all into overtime, you get 7.5 hours of PTO because it's time and a half for overtime or whatever. So
Okay.
then, some of our guys have like couple weeks of over or PTO saved up, but they don't use them. And then I don't have any PTO saved up because I use it. Like when I get it, I use it. So
Yeah.
Same.
because man, I even like a 4-day work week, which that's the one of the big debates. I feel like it would make things so much nicer. Like if I just had one extra day to myself and one less day of just hammering walls. So nice. I've honestly, because last week I didn't go in on Monday, so I was off Monday, and then I worked 4 days, and I felt so much better that week, and like actually got a lot more done than normal, and we made some great progress on our stuff. And then this week,
Yeah.
by Thursday, I was just out of it. Like I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing anything.
I feel that.
Just want.
I definitely think because there's been talks around our place of like possibly a 4-day work week, which me personally, I don't really find that idea appealing as much.
Hmm, why so?
Just the longer hours throughout the day.
Well, but
Right. Like I'm at
theoretically,
work longer for those like for the days, right? But then I have one whole day, but like
well, but
I don't know,
theoretically, it
having
would be a 4-day, 32-hour work week.
oh, well then I'm just losing out on pay.
Well, but
Yeah.
the whole concept behind it, which is why it probably won't happen, but the whole concept behind it is that pay would go up, like your minimum wage would go up, and then you start getting paid OT after 32 hours. So they can still work you the full time, and you'll still be making about the same amount of money. But all the studies prove that, well, not all of them, but a good majority of them prove that people are more efficient when they work less. So they actually end up getting more done, and they're just for giving them a free day.
Yeah, our company's actually been working on like morale and shit quite a bit lately because they've seen tons of complaints.
Yeah, it's bad. I know. Well, it's
That's
like,
because like for most of these companies, everything feels like what is it? Like everybody feels like a number essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it really is like the morale is such a huge aspect of how much gets done. Like we
Yeah,
we
for
had
sure.
some guys at my old place that I worked at that if they were having a bad day, not only would they like do nothing, they would usually, mess up something to cause extra work for other people. So it was
Hmm.
just causing
Yeah.
him so much more, so much more trouble than just being like, hey, maybe you don't have to work 60 hours this week, like just go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one of our old managers in like right whenever the pandemic started, he enforced mandatory OT. And so we had to work 15 hours of OT every week. And that really drove morale down like a shitload and like nothing got done
Yeah,
during that month because it was for like the whole month.
Yeah.
Because most people, whenever it was time for to get their OT in, they were so fucking burnt out just from working normally that
Yeah.
it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything and then get my money and fuck this company basically for making me do this.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, well, the managers aren't here. I mean, they probably were for yours, but for a lot of ours, we would be unloading trucks, right? Like during seasonals times when the trucks were 5 times the size they normally are with the same amount of people we always had. And
Hmm.
so we would be up there till like 3 or 4 a.m. and all the managers had left already because, of course they're going to leave. And
Yeah.
like the productivity just absolutely tanked after, like, basically once you hit the end of your scheduled shift, everyone would just, like, you could see them moving a lot slower. They'd be talking to each other, doing, just goofing around. And I was like, man, this is just terrible. You should just schedule us earlier and actually schedule us the time to do this instead of making us work till 4 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's the shit that irritates me the most too. Like managers and management, like project managers and everything like that, they can fuck up all fucking day long, causing delays and issues. But as soon as it's time for the project to actually be done and we're way beyond the deadline because they fucked up, then it's our fucking problem and our fault because we can't get it done fast enough. They're
Yeah.
sitting here like, we
Yeah.
need this done today. It's like, bruh, you're the one who dicked off and fucked around and fucked this whole process up, and now we're the ones who have to pay the price with a limited time frame.
Yeah.
Like, how about you fuck off, get off your high horse, and actually like chill? We wouldn't be in
Yeah.
this fucking situation if it wasn't for you.
It's just it, and I would probably do the same thing honestly if I was a manager, but it's just weird that they always just blame the lowest paying people, and then they're like, yeah, they don't work hard enough, and I'm like, favorite saying, minimum wages, minimum effort, bitch. All right, fuck,
Yeah.
fuck
Well,
you.
you gotta think like all these companies are always like, oh, we want to hire somebody not just based on pay. You know, we don't want your only incentive to be pay. It's like,
No,
but that
that's
is
my only
literally my
incentive.
only incentive. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
I'm not the part owner. I'm not invested in this fucking company.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally just a way for me to make fucking money.
Like if
And
I
so if you're gonna
wasn't
pay
getting
me the
paid
least
right now,
amount,
I would not be here. So
yeah,
yeah.
right. Like, why the fuck else am I here? Don't be stupid.
yeah, he's stupid.
Essentially,
Stupid.
it just
Because
cracks me up how that's such a standard like thought.
yeah, and I was talking with my uncle. He was kind of making all the same arguments, like nobody wants to work. They only work for money. And I'm like, so you're telling me that if your job stopped paying you today, you would still go in every single day and put in all this work? And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, exactly.
Right. Like, no fucking shit, I'm working for money. What the fuck else is there to
Right?
work for? Like, you're not giving me anything else.
I
That
would
makes
not be
zero
here
fucking
if I was
sense.
making $0. I would be at home living in poverty, but at least happy.
Well, what are
making
these companies
$0.
working for, right? Like, what? Why does this company even exist? To
Yeah.
fucking make money. So why the fuck am I here? I'm not here to make you more money. I'm here to make me money,
Yep.
and you just happen to make
So,
more money in the process.
question: do you guys ever think that uh like a utopian communist, because I mean it's pretty much communist, like kind of government would ever work or ever come into play? So like Star Trek future, where no one pays for anything, you just everything is given to you for free. You're assigned a job, or well, could be assigned a job, or just go find a job, and it's just understood that you do this work and then you get whatever you want.
I think it's possible, but very highly like improbable, just because of human nature. Like, we're all just kind of greedy. So there's always going to be someone who wants more than everyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking like, true Star Trek future, when you like, what, I'm hungry, and you press a button and a full steak with, a 5,000-year-old wine teleports into your room, and you're like, perfect.
I think it's totally possible, but like I say, I just don't think it's probable. Like, I mean, because
It's the
like,
human nature portion of it. Of
yeah,
people aren't happy.
well, people aren't that selfless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
People are so self-involved that they'll just want more for themselves. So what's stopping somebody from hitting that button too many times and just getting infinite amounts of steak and causing a fucking steak shortage? Like, dead ass. Like, you see what happens whenever like gas, like we start hitting like the gas shortages. Everybody and their fucking moms goes out and fills up their truck beds with gas, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
dude,
Oh, Jesus
you're the
Christ.
fucking problem.
Yeah, it's the
Like, stop it.
self-fulfilling prophecy. Like the whole toilet
Toilet
paper
paper,
shortage back at the
yeah.
beginning of COVID.
Yeah, and people were buying like toilet
Which-
paper that was gonna like my mom bought like one big thing of toilet paper. That was it. Just the one big thing just to make sure we had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are
It's
people out
like,
there
what?
buying out whole fucking like aisles and shelves and shit, and I'm like,
Right.
dude, you're
And
not gonna go through all that toilet paper in your entire fucking lifetime.
I guarantee you, most of those people still have majority of that toilet paper to this day.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
2 years after the fact.
Well, but it's also the thing of like, okay, there's a shortage, so I'm gonna buy what I normally buy, and then just use less.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. The idea shouldn't be that you should buy more and continue. It should be okay. Well, might have to take it a little easy for the next couple of months.
And that's why that future will never happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is the exact reason why it will never happen.
Which is sad.
Is because people are idiots.
Kind of. It's just sad because, man, could you just imagine how good life would be if everyone was, it's not even selfless, but was just decent.
Yeah.
Like when they were gonna make a decision, they'd be like, this might, ruin someone else's day. Maybe I don't need to do this. Let's find another way. Like, just it's a simple
Right.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Nah, it never will happen. People aren't that fucking nice.
I mean, sadly,
Like, fuck that guy. I don't give a shit about him. Or them,
Yeah.
or whoever it is.
Well, I think it kind of ties in because there's the trolley problem, the morality test, where it's like a train's going down a track, there's one person, or it's going to hit 5 people unless you pull a lever and it only hurts one person. And so you can kind of tie that all into this, where it's like people will always make the decision that causes them the least inconvenience.
Yeah.
Because I do it every day. So it's sad. I wish we lived Star Trek. I want Picard to hold me.
Well, did y'all see there was some kind of news broadcast where they were talking about the consumer needs to step up and stop buying so much shit. And it's like, oh, so let's just stop fueling the economy. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, man. One of my pet peeves is when I tell someone, or we're talking about money and they're like, yeah, I could use a higher wage. I don't really have enough money to do everything I want. And they're like, oh, well, how often do you eat out? And I'm like, bitch, let me enjoy life. Are you telling me just because I make less money, I shouldn't be able to go get a burger? Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. It shouldn't be a choice between small pleasures and, living.
Yeah. Well, it's that like, okay, yeah, I don't make enough to, save to buy a house or this and that. But even if I stopped eating fast food once a week or when it going out to a restaurant once a week, if I stop that, I'm still not going to have enough money to buy a house. So I
Yeah.
might as well fucking enjoy those small victories I can take.
I like that
And
video of that dude. He's like, you want to be a millionaire? Stop eating Starbucks. Stop doing this and that
Oh,
and this.
yeah.
And I'm like, bro, who the fuck are you?
right.
Like, yeah, that helps, of course, to like, save money, but fuck, dude, that's such a like minuscule thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, let me.
worth giving up that small pleasure just so you might be able to afford a house in 10 years instead of 15?
That's
Like,
but it's also, if you look at that video, it's like if you stop drinking Starbucks every day for the rest of your life, by the time you hit 60, you'll have $1 million. So it's like, yeah, okay, a 20-year-old spend, what, $6 if you just get a coffee, $6 at
large
Starbucks.
coffee.
So yeah, if you stop doing that every day for 40 years, you'll
Then
have $1 million.
Yeah, then you'll be in decent
But-
shape when you're old and retired and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's not the problem. The problem is the wages.
Yeah. And
They're all basically locked in by fucking old people who refuse to retire.
Yeah.
Because if they retire, they'll die. And what's the point in that? They may as well just keep working.
Yeah. I do I find um the perspective shift very fascinating. So like recently, you always see or used to see him roll a lot of times on Facebook of like picture or people would take pictures of like an 80-year-old person still working, and they would
Hmm.
be like, "Wow, look at him, such a hard worker." But now it's starting to shift in a, damn, they should not have to work, right? Like they should be able to live comfortably and not have to go into
Yeah,
work every day at 80 years old. And it's just
yeah,
real fascinating to me how that has just like swapped in what seems like 10 years.
yeah.
Because even my grandpa, who is, shoot, I don't remember, 70 something? He might be in his 80s now. Fuck. Um, but my grandpa, he still works, and his wife is can't walk anymore, is blind in both eyes, and they have like retirement, but it's not enough to pay for everything. So he still has, I think, two part-time jobs. And I was like, man, that sucks. Like,
Yeah.
why can't we just take care of them? Why can't we afford it?
Oh, also the beautiful nature of the Social Security system, because we still get it pulled out of every single one of our checks, but we're not going to be able to use it.
Yeah,
Why not?
because we
It's
don't qualify.
bankrupt. It's already done.
Oh,
Like,
is it? I didn't know that.
oh yeah.
See, this
Well,
is one of those things that I have just never thought I was going to get a part of it, so I just don't care about it.
mhm. Yeah, no. So it's to the point that the only thing paying the like all the retiree Social Security checks is what's being pulled out of our checks every month.
Oh,
There's
sick.
no
Yeah, it's not
savings in
stocking
it.
up. It's just it's
There's no
breaking even.
stock. It's just yeah. It's
It's
all
crazy.
breaking even or losing money because the boomers. Because the Social Security system was designed around a certain number of people.
Yeah.
Right.
And so all of these boomers, that generation was 2 to 3 times larger than every other generation before or since.
Mm-hmm.
So
Insane.
they paid into it their whole life or whatever. But then when they start drawing on it and stopped paying into it,
There weren't enough
now
young people working to
yeah,
make up for it,
yeah. So
which is just
now
crazy because now, like, the children, the rate of people having kids is going down even further.
mhm,
I really hope by the time I'm, 70 or 80, we'll just have like I'll be hooked up to my I was gonna say life alert, but my life support, and I'll just have a button next to my bed, just a euthanasia button. Anytime I have a bad day, I'm just like, all right, well, bye, and just press and done.
peace out.
All right, I don't need this anymore.
Good. I hope I die of something like really cool before then, like a motorcycle accident or something.
I mean,
Right?
you could definitely do that right
Like
now.
people
Yeah.
always ask me, or like not always, but I've had the conversation in the past of like, "Oh, how do you want to die?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I want to do something cool, like fucking get ejected from a space station, or like be tethered to a space station. Something fucks up, my tether breaks, and so I just aim myself towards the Earth and just fucking dive back into the atmosphere and burn up.
So
Like that's a cool ass fucking death."
it would be a
That'd be
great
pretty dope.
idea that would never happen, but they should right now like make this program, and they're like, hey, here in 40 years we're going to send everyone that's able-bodied and above the age of 70 that wants to go to colonize Mars. So they're just
Fuck
like,
yeah.
all of us can sign up right now. They're like, okay, just remember, you got to be fit, you got to take care of yourself. So you get up to 60, 70, whatever, you're jacked as fuck, and they just shoot you at Mars to go start a colony. Like, how cool would that be?
Fuck yeah.
I'd be
Fuck
down.
yeah.
That'd be so much cooler than just dying of old age.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's always been my whole thing is like I want to die in some cool ass way, like fucking falling off of a cliff because a bear attacked me or something.
Well, so
Like, I don't want a lame ass fucking laying in bed death.
right? How would you guys, if there was any way you can imagine, you know, everything is legal, whatever you want. How would y'all want to die?
Oh, exactly how I said it the first time.
Just getting shot into space or something?
No, I would be on an EVA at like a space station. Something fucks up with the tether. I'm like, fuck. So I just use my jetpack to propel myself as fast as I can towards the Earth, to where that I re-enter and burn up in the fucking atmosphere.
I don't know, man. Have you seen the movie with Sandra Bullock where she's just like floating off into space? That would be terrifying. I don't want to do that.
Oh,
But...
I'm not talking about floating
well, I
off into
know,
space.
but
I would absolutely not want to do that. I would want to shoot myself back to the Earth.
shoot back into it. I mean, because man, I don't know. I would definitely, I feel like it would change, you know, from year to year. It would just kind of be what I'm feeling like at the moment. But I really wish there were still, like I could have a sword fight. I could duel somebody.
That would be cool.
Like 80-year-old me fighting to the
Either
death with some
that-
dude.
So either hurtling myself back into the Earth from space, or jumping a mini bike over the Grand Canyon.
I don't know. See, if I was gonna do
Something
it, though,
epic.
I would want to do something that is like absolute guaranteed to kill me instantly with no pain. And I feel like jumping across the Grand Canyon, like even though it's pretty low, there is a chance of you like I don't know, like bouncing off a rock or something, just being paralyzed.
Oh, I would be like, I definitely know I can't do this, so I'm gonna jump far enough and then ditch the bike and fucking like pencil
Just-
dive into the fucking ground. Something that I know I'm just gonna sploosh. Just be a puddle on the ground.
What about you, Nick? How do you want to die?
I don't know. I'm not really too picky about the like or like. I don't know. I don't have like a specific idea.
Right.
For me, it's
Just
just like as long
not
as it's
dying of
some
old
rad
age.
shit, preferably something motorcycle related and
Yeah, that'd be
fire.
cool.
Yeah.
Because man, dying of old age just sounds like the most depressing thing ever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just slowly getting older and older.
Yeah.
Nah, I wanna,
Like-
I'm be out of here by like 60.
Like, I super want it to be something epic, like fucking wrestling the world's biggest alligator. Just some cool shit.
Yeah, like if I get old enough to the point to where it's like, okay, I'm like starting to hit that age where like it's starting to get difficult to even like, you know, be hygienic and shit like that, like take care of myself.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
I get
just
put in
gonna-
adult diapers, it's over. All right.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna take
just put it around in my head.
I'm just gonna take my motorcycle and ride it to the Grand Canyon, whatever I have at the time, and just fucking drive that bitch off of it as fast as I can.
Exactly. Just something cool that your great grandkids are gonna ask you, oh, how did great granddad die? And they're gonna be like, well,
Ooh.
he tried to jump the Grand Canyon on a 50cc motorcycle, and yeah.
Dude, take the Honda
Absolutely
CT90 out there to that bitch and just fucking
Oh, yeah.
send her.
He just absolutely hucked it off the edge of the fucking Grand Canyon, and well, I will say by the time he got to the bottom, we didn't recognize it was him.
So now what I'm picturing now is, you know, you've picked your day for when you're gonna kill yourself. So all your friends and family come over. You have a funeral on the edge of the Grand Canyon. Everyone's there, you know, they're all sad, whatever. And then like Evil Knievel music starts playing. You're like, "Are you ready?" And you just come like,
and then you just
"No!"
you just hear, and then as I get closer, you hear me yelling, yeah.
Woo! And then you just go like right down the middle aisle of the funeral and just jump off the casket into the... That would be
And
so
I'll tell
much
him,
cooler.
Just scoop my little puddle of a body up into a bucket and dump me in the ocean. Nah, dump me in a fucking volcano.
The ocean doesn't need more pollution in it, Brandon, okay?
Dude,
It's
we don't
it's
want your
organic.
fucking trash in there,
You don't
dude.
want your garbage in our ocean. Ooh,
Throw
see,
me in a
I
volcano,
was about to say, I think it would be cooler to motorcycle jump into an active volcano.
bro. Yes and no, because
Like,
that shit ain't gonna kill you instantly. It's gonna burn and burn, and then you'll lose feeling, but you'll still be alive, and then you'll die.
I mean, but again, you're just jumping from so high up that you're just gonna.
Oh
Or
yeah. Hey, if I'm like if my death is from a high place, I'm fucking ditching whatever I'm on and I'm pencil diving head
Head
first in.
first, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna make sure that shit kills me.
right? I don't know. What's the I just totally blanked. But, huh. You're saying you don't want to go like wide squirrel, make it last a little bit, and then the
No.
very end try to
I'll
hang
I'll
to the
wide
ground.
squirrel for a second just to like take in my surroundings, but then I'm gonna make sure that I can get to terminal velocity and fucking pencil dive my head first
Yeah.
into the fucking dirt.
Well,
See,
so
that's
what if
my idea. Like, if
they?
I'm ever gonna like die from falling from a high place, yeah, I want to be going as fast as I can. That way, it makes the biggest splat.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
splats it. What if
Just
It goes
want
instead?
boom. Just
I just
fucking-
want to be a puddle.
What if they can
yes.
give you like a little chip in your neck that just explodes and kills you instantly? So then, like right before it starts hurting, it just like pop.
Dude, my main thing is like I'm not really worried too much about getting that old to where shit like my body starts to fail me. I'm more so worried about like the world falling apart, and then I'm gonna be
Yeah,
like, all right, well this sucks, so I'm just gonna fucking boop, done.
I
yeah.
don't know, man.
Fuck
So
this shit.
here's another question.
Yeah.
Is have y'all ever put the thought into whether you want to be buried or cremated?
I want to be cremated,
I
or
want to be
Same.
I want to have a Viking funeral.
that'd be
That
cool.
would be also epic.
I want to
But
be
Super.
cremated if my other plan of getting shot at an alien planet doesn't come to fruition, because that's
But
still what I
also
want. So.
also it would be epic to have like talking about volcanoes and shit, just having the most epic Viking funeral and being cremated in a volcano.
Yeah,
Ooh,
pretty
that'd be fucking
cool.
sick. Do you imagine carrying a casket up to a
Like top of a
fucking
volcano.
volcano? Yeah. Oh my god.
But just do it right. Don't even carry me up there. Just fucking cannon me up there. Just
Catapult, dude. No,
stuff my
trebuchet. Sorry.
trebuchet. Yeah, just fucking throw my limp ass body in a cannon and just launch me.
Yeah. I mean, again, I definitely would want to be cremated, because isn't there like there's just way too many people to bury all of us. Why bury? That's so stupid. Takes too much space. I'm dead. Who cares?
Right?
Well, so I don't know if y'all know, but are like caskets biodegradable?
Yeah.
But like
E-
quickly biodegradable?
no, it's like I think most of them are anywhere from like 10 to 30 years.
Which isn't that long.
But
But
30 years to just have a body that you can't build anything on top of, do anything because of all those stupid laws.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think burials are kind of dumb in my opinion,
oh
and
yeah.
funerals. I think funerals are dumb too.
Oh, funerals are the dumbest shit.
Because like it's just a bunch of sad people hanging out together, being sad, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, why are we doing this?
Sorry for your loss. Like, no, you ain't, bitch.
Right? Like, whenever my mom dies, dude, she's getting cremated, and I'm gonna take her ashes out to Lake Whitney, and like, you guys, of course, are invited, and like, it's only gonna be like close friends and certain family members that are gonna be there, and we're just gonna get fucking we're gonna have a party,
Trashed,
an
yeah.
absolute fucking party. Like, it's supposed to be a good time, a celebration of their life, you
Yeah.
know, not a weep fest. Oh my god, I can't fucking do it.
Dude, and
Mhm.
I absolutely despise funerals. Like getting
Yeah,
invited
same.
to funerals, because like
Yeah.
you can't really say no.
No, yeah, you cannot say no. Oh my god.
And it's like if so it's they're in one of two camps. It's someone you don't know, so you really don't give a shit about them, So you have no reason to be there or be sad, and so then you're just awkward the whole time. Or it's someone you actually cared about, and then you're like, I don't want all these stupid awkward people here. Fuck them. Get out of here.
Right?
Like one of our real good friends growing up, their mom passed away from cancer, and so we went to the funeral. It was very sad funeral. And then afterwards, we all went back to their house and were just drinking, and it was actually pretty fun after the fact, but it was not fun during. So you
Yeah.
got to put the fun back in funeral, okay?
God damn it.
I'll just say, if I do die before you guys, one, y'all have to be my pallbearers,
Oh, we're doing the fucking
But-
coffin dance.
but just you two. No
Oh,
one else
yeah.
is allowed to help
God
you.
damn!
So you
I
better
gotta,
start
I gotta
beefing
start
up.
working out.
And I'm
Oh
gonna
my
put on
God.
a lot of weight in the last like 5 years of my life. So like
Oh god.
y'all are gonna have to figure it out.
Jeremy's like, I only have a few years to live. Fuck it, let's try and see how short we can make this.
Start eating it up, boys. But again, if I do die before you guys, I swear to God, if a single tear is shed at my own funeral, I will come back to life and kill someone.
I'm gonna
Wow.
I'm gonna go take the podium. And I'm just gonna like silent for about 20 seconds, just looking at your body. Just shaking my head. This motherfucker. And then just walk off.
All right, you just gotta crack
This
a
fucking guy.
Red's
Crack a
wicked
cold
apple,
one.
pour
Yeah.
it on my face. Dude, that's one thing that always is so weird to me at funerals. Like, why do they mummify the body and put it up there for people to look at? Like, that's so weird.
Yeah, no, that's always been fucking super
Creepy.
fucking weird.
Very creepy to me.
It's
Why?
like,
Just give me a picture of him. I don't want to see that. Like,
right? It's like burn me and just never look at me again. If you got pictures, that's all you need. You don't need to see my dead body.
especially because usually, they look terrible because they're dead. So, like,
Yeah.
you're seeing their worst, the worst they've looked in years, and you're like, this seems weird to me.
Yeah.
Nah,
Never
dude.
do
See,
that.
I want to be in the casket like the wrong way in though.
Oh yeah, so it's just
Where,
your
like,
feet.
My
Just your
lower
feet
half is
showing.
pointing out. No, my feet and dick and balls.
Just
Maybe
pantless.
Maybe I'm upside down and it's just my
Just
bare
in the
ass.
butthole.
But would definitely need like a.
They've like taped my
So-
cheeks open.
No, so here's the thing. They put a screw-in butt plug in so that all of the stuff inside you stays
doesn't
inside you.
leak out your ass.
So it would just be a butt plugged dead asshole.
So, but then I would request that it's one of those butt
Light
plugs
up
that has
ones.
the tail on it.
Oh
Like the animal
god.
tail.
Do they say no homo where they put the butt plug in? Because if they don't, that makes pretty much everybody who gets buried gay.
They have
I mean-
one woman at every mortician that her sole job is to walk up and just kind of slip it in.
Just,
homo.
no homo.
She's very depressed.
Just whisper in. No homo.
Dude, how do you get into being a mortician? Like
I don't
such a
know.
weird thing to go into.
I knew
It's kinda
a funeral director. He worked at the funeral home. I don't remember exactly what he did there, but I don't think he did the embalming and all that.
Man, that would be a terrible job. Just stuffing dead people all day.
Right?
I mean, shit. There are people who do that shit for free.
Got him.
Oh god.
We're not talking
Oh,
about
God.
priests, okay? Come on. But like, even like you're saying, a funeral director, like that would suck. That'd be a terrible job. I wouldn't want to
Just
do
be
that.
around dead people all the time.
Dead people and having to deal with all their sad families all the time.
I don't know. It sounds kind of nice to be around dead people because then they can't fucking talk to you.
Yeah, they can't say no. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say dead people can't say no.
Oh,
Man, we're just now we're
and we're back.
now we're just going into crimes,
Oh
Yeah.
god.
defiling the dead.
We're on a list now.
But speaking of jobs that I don't know how people like get into them. I was thinking, I don't think I could ever imagine a kid wanting to grow up and like his dream being like, I want to be a plumber.
I mean, yeah, you kind of got me there. Like,
Like, who
oh yeah,
wants to be a
plumbing. That's
plumber?
my shit, dude.
Right? Like most of the other like trade jobs, I could make an argument for like seeing a kid that wants to do that, right? Like
Yeah.
being in construction, like building houses is cool as fuck. Being an electrician, like working with electricity is cool as hell. But then
I'm
plumbing,
working with shit.
yeah, what?
Let me clean them pipes.
Man, because like we were we were at a building. They had one of their their sewage tanks backed up, and they thought it was an electrical issue. So we got called down there to see, but it wasn't. But man, that whole place just reeked, and the people were just covered in shit. And I was like, ugh. Why would you do this? I don't know why anyone would want to do this.
Oh no.
I'll have to talk at once. Well, like, um, is there any jobs that you guys think you would like never do in a million years, no matter how much they paid you?
Porta potty cleaner slash maintainer.
Yeah, you gotta get paid decent money, right?
Probably not.
Why not though? No one would just do that for minimum wage. I hope.
I mean, they probably make like 40 to 50 a year.
That's not terrible. For
My
handling
internet fucking
other
died.
people's shit for so long.
Oh, that's why Nick went silent.
Yeah, my internet just fucking died, dude. I just gotta get it out there. Suddenlink internet is fucking trash.
Man, our internet, we're also a Suddenlink. Ours has been it craps out all the time recently.
Dude, it crashes like it goes down at least once a fucking day. At least. It's
Yeah.
usually multiple times. I cannot believe how fucking terrible Suddenlink is.
I mean, they do have a lot of people on it though, so.
Yeah, then you should be making fucking plenty of money to make it fucking work right. I don't know, dude. Them shareholders' pockets be looking thin though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of
Or
like the amount of electricity that houses require now is just it's like continuously going up and up and up that a lot of grid systems just can't keep up anymore.
yeah, let's not even talk about ERCOT.
Oh god.
So, as an electrician, I should know
Oh.
more about ERCOT, but I definitely don't. So, can one of you explain it to me like stupid? Because I am.
ERCOT is the uh oh fuck. They basically run 90% of the Texas grid because Texas has a grid incompatible with the other two US grids.
Yeah, because we're
So
special. We can do it on our
the
own.
the East and the West have separate grids, but they are compatible with each other. Texas has a different grid than both of them and is incompatible with both of them. There are two switching stations, I think, between the grids. One of them is in Texarkana, one of them is in, I think, like El Paso area, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But that switching station only services a small part of that town. ERCOT
So,
goes through and it's the Texas grid, air quote. Lubbock for the longest time was not on ERCOT. Lubbock had a separate grid from ERCOT. But then all of that winter storm stuff happened and somehow they decided that it would be a good idea to add them to ERCOT.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, because we never lost power
I was
here,
about to say, yeah, we
but
never lost power.
all of the ERCOT areas got fucked over.
Yeah.
So it's
But at least,
just
then if one of you, if you're all suffering together.
fuck that. That's all I gotta say.
Basically, we should all instead of no one should be on the grid anymore. We should all have our own power plants in our backyards.
Oh fuck. We just have a lot of fires electrical fires. People are fucking idiots.
It'd be fun.
Be interesting for sure.
See, I do if I ever buy a house, the first thing I'm gonna do is put some solar panels up.
I've heard that's like kind of a scam though, because of how expensive they are.
They
Also,
are pretty
like,
expensive, but I mean, I just think they're cool.
well, they don't work how you think they work either. So the power from the solar panels don't go to your house.
Yeah,
They
it
go
usually feeds back into
the
the
grid.
Yeah, and
Right.
then
Okay.
they pay you for it, and then or they just take it off your.
It depends on how you have it wired, but so to do it right, you do the solar panels and you have a switch in your home that you can switch it to battery or you can switch it to grid.
Do you know
And
how much those
so
cost though?
it depends on
The
how
solar
big of a
panels
system
I
for
you
was
get.
like
talking-
my house, it was it would be like, I think, 20 grand or so for everything, for the installation and everything, and then the batteries are like another 43,000 on top of that.
Yeah, see, I was talking to a guy that got some panels on his house, and they estimated that it would pretty much cover the entirety of his electric bill, and I think they said he paid 30,000 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that seems like a scam to me. I don't feel like I don't know if because depending on how much your electric bill is, like if you don't spend $30,000 on your electric over the course of your life, then you're kind of losing money.
Well, so here's the thing though, is if you don't, so say you use 100 kilowatt hours a month, but your solar panels produce 200 kilowatt hours a month. That means they're going to send you a check for contributing 100 kilowatt hours to the grid. You get paid for what you send back to the grid. So that first 100 is just taking away anything you use that month. And then the second 100, you're actually getting paid for or getting a bill credit or whatever.
Yeah, so it could theoretically
So
take you from paying an electric bill every month to getting paid an electric bill every month.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I just think it's it's part of I just think it's really cool, and two, kind of like you're saying, you then have kind of almost like a backup power if you ever do run out of or the grid goes down. But then also, I honestly feel that here in the next couple years, they're going to start just like everything's going to be solar and wind and all this shit, and hopefully they're going to start shutting down all the coal plants. So I'll be there with my own solar plant. Look at me go.
It's just so fucking expensive.
Yeah, but so what I'm thinking is if I was going to do it, I would basically ask for it in the cost of the home loan.
Yeah.
So
and that's how some people do it.
Buy it up.
But also you can buy the solar panels on loan. So like you can borrow the money to buy them. And if you like people who do it that way usually figure up and see how much the solar panels would produce, so how much money they'd save them, and they'll usually base their payment around that average. So say you finance 30 grand for 10 years or whatever, so you're paying $300 a month. So if the solar panels save you $400 a month, you're making $50 a month on those solar panels. And so that's how a lot of people end up doing it, because it takes that giant startup cost off. But then also, if you do it right, you're making money already, and so you could pay down the loan faster to start getting your money back faster or stuff like that. And so it's always like a ROI look at things. So you look at your return on investment to see this is when it'll pay itself off, and then this is when it will be profitable or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I
I can
think
see it.
it'd just be cool. I just want to be a part of the future already. Where I can finally
Future.
make the sun work for me instead of just giving me sunburns.
Nah, get fucked. Sunburns for you. Rest of life sunburns.
I mean, so that is, the biggest struggle. It's very hard, and as many people have pointed out, it's very hard being a white person, okay? And one of the hardest things is the fact that I have to put on sunscreen when I go outside, like I'm that stupid little baby on the back of the sunscreen bottle.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Just don't wear sunscreen. Be a man. Get a sunburn.
Just don't be a little bitch.
I'm a very fair-skinned person, Brandon, which some people would say is a sign of superiority.
Speaking of the sunburns and tan and like that kind of shit, I now have a glove tan line
Oh, really?
Nice.
from riding my bike so much. Dude, yeah. Riding the motorcycle's giving me a fucking glove tan line, so my hands are like all white and then my forearms are super tan. And you can see where my glove cuts off. Never thought that would be a thing. Because I wear a long sleeve button up whenever I ride.
Yeah.
So I figured it would be good enough, but apparently not. It rides up a little bit, and that sun just
Starts
takes its
baking
toll.
you.
Yeah. I didn't even notice it. I figured I would get sunburnt because I'm pretty pasty. But no.
Man,
It's a
I don't
goofy
know.
ass tan line.
I used to, or I still do. Every time I go, like swimming or something, I usually wear like a long sleeve shirt and pants because I just don't want to have to deal with sunscreen. It's so annoying.
See, I'll put on sunscreen. It doesn't bother me too much.
It inconveniences me. Okay.
The inconvenience isn't worth the convenience.
Yeah. As long as I don't have to rub some nasty lotion on myself and I don't get skin cancer when I'm older, then it's fine.
God damn it.
Yeah, I've gotten sunburnt so bad in my life so many times.
I just get to the point that I fucking accept it and put on sunscreen or just say fuck it, I'll deal with the consequences.
The consequences can be fucking awful though sometimes.
Oh, for sure. My legs have been so sunburned that they turned purple.
It
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. That's why you should just wear clothes.
Uh,
Can't get
I was a
sunburned if you
kid.
don't expose your skin to sunlight.
I mean, yeah,
Rude.
that's why I wear long sleeves and pants every day.
You just don't go outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Who needs the outdoors?
I mean, to kind of tie it back into funerals, very interesting topic. If my funeral is outside, any part of it, even burying me, well, shooting my ashes into the sun. If that's outside, everyone's dead to me. All right. I
Oh no,
refuse to be in the sun.
it's gonna be in a dank basement.
Oh hell yeah,
I'm okay with
drippy
that.
one too.
That's my home territory.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I dwell, dude.
Yeah, in the dark, with no sunlight but the sun off my screen.
Jeremy is a Falmer.
Man, I wish they had such good lives,
Oh yeah, dude. Eating bugs and shit to survive in the
Having their
caves,
eyes
losing their
ripped out
eyesight.
and
No, they didn't have their eyes ripped out. They just lost their eyesight due to the cave dwelling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they have like terrible vision. They're like blind.
I mean, I'd kind of be okay with it though. I'd be fine with living in a cave. Cool.
Dude, blindness is probably one of the like scariest disabilities to me.
Yeah, that's true. The idea of being blind is quite scary.
Like
Mostly
being deaf,
because-
whatever. But blind, well, that's scary.
It's also like I have terrible eyesight, and so it's a possibility for me because there's multiple eye diseases that run in my family because the Wit genes are terrible, and when I get old, if I go blind, that's another point where if the second I start going blind, that's it. Shoot me into space.
God damn
I
it.
like how both of y'all's is space related and mine
Dude,
is just like
space is so
throw
much
myself off a
cooler
cliff.
than everything.
Space is dope.
Yeah, I gotta do mine on a budget, you know. We're not balling out here.
Just have to buy that really expensive life insurance. With one of the clauses being that it has to be used in its entirety to shoot you into space. It's like $1 million life insurance.
Oh god.
If
It'd be
it,
cool if you could do that.
right? I was gonna say if it was actually something they could do, how much do you think they would charge you to shoot your body into space?
Oh my god, a ridiculous amount.
I don't know. They got that new what is it? The momentum launcher or something. So it just spins really fast and flings you to space.
Oh, I feel like that.
Be-
I was gonna say I feel like that would kill you, but you'd already be dead. So I guess it.
Yeah, this is
Well,
perfect for flinging an urn of ashes
Yeah.
to space.
No, if I'm getting
Oh, I
launched
was
into
thinking,
space,
like-
I want my full body up there. All right.
Yeah, see, I was thinking his full body in this machine, and it spins so fast that it like
Just-
juices him.
Oh god.
My little fox butt plug's gonna come out.
Mid-flight, so it looks like you have a chemtrail, contrail.
Oh no.
It's your own contrail.
See, that's the chemtrails you gotta watch out for.
Oh
Yeah, dude.
god.
The juices
It's not
out of
the-
old dead people.
Can you imagine all these planes that fly overhead and everything? And you imagine all the people using the toilets in those, and it just like I wonder how many people get shit on and pissed on because of planes flying overhead.
I mean, man, I hope every day. What? But no, isn't there something like it never actually like reaches the ground?
No, it totally reaches the ground.
But it's always it's so spread out that it's not generally
Well, but see, I swear I saw there was a MythBusters about it, which is a great show, and I swear
You just have a turd plop down on your head
Yeah.
from the fucking sky 10,000 feet up, dude. Holy shit! I feel like that would knock you out.
No, it
or
would definitely
you.
kill you. Yeah,
A frozen turd. Just bow. Ah!
like a cannonball, but
right
just
through your
shit.
ceiling into your living room.
Oof, man,
Ooh,
that
what
would be a
the fuck is
terrible way to
that?
die if you were just.
Just a missile of a turd. A real
Yeah.
fucking honker too, dude. This dude had fucking eaten nothing but cheese and like wheat.
Ugh.
y'all have heard of rods from God.
Yeah. It's a rod.
Get ready from turds from God. Rods from ass.
What's a name that rhymes with turd?
Turd from birds. I don't know.
Nah, because I'm trying to think of the dude who laid the log in the airplane.
It's not really much that rhymes with turd.
It really isn't.
Turds from
Uh-huh.
herd.
Turd.
Turds from herd.
I mean, apparently she does like shitting on beds. So
Yes.
Her own bed too.
was it her own? I don't know.
Yeah, it was hers and Johnny's.
That whole trial, man. I don't know if it should be as popular as it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting to see it, but also, like, why does everyone care?
Aren't we on like the brink of World War III or something?
Nah, we forgot about that already, remember?
Yeah, it seems like it. We were like,
That's
oh yeah,
old
support
news.
for Ukraine, and then we're just like,
that was like
who?
a whole 2 weeks ago. Why would we care about that?
Yeah, it's old news. Fuck it.
dude, that's so funny how our attention spans in America are just like from one thing to the next.
Dude, right? Well, and there was also, like, the fact that China is just basically everyone is being bolted inside their houses. Did you see that shit?
No.
Like
What?
so there was another COVID lockdown going down in Shanghai, and like it's so bad that they're literally like screwing boards across people's doors to keep them in.
What the
That's
fuck?
crazy.
Yeah, like the entire city is just like, and I don't know if it's any better, probably not because it's China, but like they weren't they the food they were giving them because no one was allowed to leave to get food or anything. So the
Hmm.
food they were giving them is like I think they were giving them like a cup of rice and then like a piece of fruit for like entire
Oh
families.
fuck.
Yeah, like it was bad.
Jesus.
Probably still is bad. Just no one cares.
Yeah, you know how it works.
It's fine.
We have all this money floating around, but we can't solve world problems.
Well, it's all going to China, and they're using it for Winnie the Pooh. One thing I really like is like shit like that when people take like a really popular or not popular but a really powerful figure and just like compare
Meme
them
the
to
fuck
Meme?
out of them.
yeah, just make them a meme. It's so funny because there's
Oh yeah.
nothing they can do about it, and it's hilarious how much it pisses them off.
Oh, dude, it's so crazy how like butthurt these like super powerful people get.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
honestly, like how uh small their just not ego. What is the word am I thinking of? Just how easily they get offended by that shit, I guess.
Yeah.
The butthurt ability.
Yeah, because
Yep.
like I get insulted on the daily, and I don't give a shit.
Oh, dude, same. Yeah, I
I
mean that's just funny to me.
But you aren't meme to hell and back, Jeremy.
mean, that's true. I wish I was a meme. I wanted to be one of those kids because like there are those people that were all the stupid baby memes, like the
Yeah.
girl that was like doing the fist, or the little boy that was doing the fist, and all those
Yeah.
things, and now they have like semi big internet followings.
Right.
I wish my claim to fame was me looking stupid as a kid.
Yeah, that'd be kind of sick. It'd be super easy. Like, who are you? I'm this meme.
Yeah,
Oh,
just hold
dude,
up a picture.
you're a legend.
Look familiar?
Yeah,
I just need one of you
that's
guys to make a meme of me now, and then make it popular.
we just got to use the picture from the podcast logo.
Oh yeah, for me in 8th grade.
Is that really how old you were?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a band concert in 8th grade, which is so funny to me because like y'all's are both current pictures.
Well,
Oh yeah,
that's what
like
you
mine was
get
taken immediately.
because you did not respond
All right,
to my
but
fucking
Brandon, that
message.
picture is so much better than any picture I would have had.
Oh, it for sure is.
Like you have Brady. I want you to think about the fact that you have more pictures of me than I do. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. I will accept that.
like the only pictures I have of me are ones that I took for work, and I just happen to be in them. And it's to send to the boss to be like, "Hey, this didn't explode. We're good."
Yeah, I don't take pictures of myself at all.
Exactly.
And nobody ever takes pictures of me.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're alone.
I'm also just like, I don't like pictures. I don't like being in them. I don't like taking them.
Yeah, I don't think I look good in pictures. Like I've never seen a picture of myself and be like, "Yeah, that's a good picture."
Yeah, there are few and far in between that I like of myself. I usually don't like my own pictures,
Yeah, so
which is
it's hard being ugly.
it's just crazy. It's like crazy to me whenever I see like, because like it's a whole different like thing for girls on like social media and stuff. Like it's totally normal for girls to take selfies and stuff, but for a dude, I don't know. For me to see like a selfie of a dude, I'm just like, nobody gives a shit. Like nobody wants to fucking see you.
Yeah, I mean,
At least that's how I feel about myself on social media. It's like,
yeah,
like I'll think about taking a selfie and posting it just for like, because on my Instagram there's not really like an updated photo of just me.
yeah.
It's always
So
like
you're
the
like,
shit
I
I'm
need
doing or
something.
working on or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I think about it and I'm like, ain't nobody want to see my ugly ass face.
Save. That's my whole mindset on social media in general. Social media in general is that nobody gives a shit about me. They don't want to see what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Why should
that's
I
how I
post
feel.
about the tacos I had for lunch? No one cares.
Yeah, usually I just post updates on like the vehicles or I'm working on.
Yeah, but
That's
at
about
least
it.
I feel like that's somehow different, but not really. I guess I don't know.
Right, like it's like because I throw the hashtags on it for other people that are like in the community as far as like whatever I'm working on,
Yeah,
just so they can see it and also
right.
see if
So
I get
like
any questions
people
about
that
it
are like interested in cars,
and motorcycles
yeah,
essentially.
they can look at that. But who cares about just people and what they've been doing all day?
Dude, that's one thing that trips me out. I'll see people like who have fucking shitloads of followers and like they're just normal ass people who do normal ass shit on a regular basis, and I'm
Yeah,
like, how the fuck are you famous?
yeah.
Like, who the
How'd you
fuck
get there?
actually follows you and like
How do
watches your
we do
shit?
it?
Right.
How do we get
Yeah.
popular?
On social media, I don't know.
I mean, on anything. Speaking of which, I don't think I posted on Twitter last.
Oops.
Should really check that more often.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I need to post like some memes to that Twitter.
Yeah. Just post a poll about how people want to be shot into space, and then when nobody answers, we can just answer ourselves.
I like how
Yeah.
yours and Brandon's are opposite too. Like Brandon wants to be shot from space towards a planet,
Yeah,
and
to burn
Jeremy
up
wants
in
to
it.
be shot from Earth to into space.
I mean, again, I just want to be shot at a planet that might have alien life on it, so that I can, you know, rain on their planet.
Man, your body would probably be so foul by the end of that trip if they kept you in
Yeah.
like a sealed container.
Yeah.
Because that's a
See,
long time. Like you'd probably be
oh,
nothing but
yeah,
bones
it'd be
by the
like
end of it.
millions of years probably.
There'd be like a
Oh,
whole
but
microbiome in your fucking casket.
since I'm dead already, they don't have to worry about keeping me alive, so they can just like find a way to accelerate me past the like speed of flight or something.
What if they just dehydrated you and put you in like a vacuum sealed bag?
Ooh, so it's like astronaut food, but me.
Yeah.
I would need like, man, they would have to put something in there so to somehow communicate to the alien species that probably doesn't even communicate because they're aliens. Somehow to communicate that I'm my name's Jeremy and I've come here to give you new viruses or something.
Ooh, speaking of aliens, didn't they just come out and say that like UFOs are real and we don't know where they come from or what they are?
I mean, well, first off, by definition, yeah, that's what a UFO is, and
Well, no, they're saying like
two,
they're like alien crafts. Like
yeah,
they've fully like said, yeah, we've been seeing these since about 2008, confirmed alien crafts or unidentified crafts that aren't of human origin.
well, I think it was like, wasn't it like the
This is like
military
really
or
recent.
NASA or something like that that released like a bunch of files? Oh no, it was the Pentagon that released a bunch of files like of all the UFOs they've cited in the past like 20 years or something.
Yeah, apparently it's fairly often that they see them too.
Yeah, but again,
Like,
I mean,
and they're getting more and more often as time goes by, as well as now they're saying that um, we're going to start firing on them,
oh
which
yeah,
seems like a
it's a
fucking
terrible
fantastic
idea.
idea.
Yeah,
Oh
why,
no, no, that's a
man?
great idea, dude.
That is such an American mindset to be like, hey, that thing over there, that's technology we can't even comprehend. Let's shoot at it.
Shoot it with a
Yeah.
missile.
Like,
So, anyways, I
why?
started blasting.
I mean, yeah. Shouldn't we be
For
making
I
sure.
mean, dead
friends with
ass.
them?
No, dude, fuck that. Fuck strangers, dude. Stranger danger.
Yes.
I remember what your parents taught you. Don't talk to strangers and shoot them on first sight.
Unless they have candy. Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
was I talking with you about it last night, Brandon? About that guy in I think it was Texas, somewhere here in Texas.
Hey, Haas.
His son went over to their neighbor's house, who was a black family, He went over to their house with a
Oh
whip
yeah,
and
yeah.
was whipping
Oh, I
their
saw
front
that.
door.
Yeah, in their car and shit.
Yeah,
Apparently.
and then after the fact, the dude went over to the kid's house to be like, "Yo, your kid was just being a racist douchebag and also like damaged our car." And so then the dad like had a gun, and at one point he goes to like take the gun out to like threaten the dude with it, but he accidentally fires it while he's trying to pull it out of the holster and fires it back into his own home towards his daughter.
Oh no way, that
Jesus
happened! Holy
Yeah.
Christ.
shit, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Oh my
Man,
god.
people are stupid.
Fucking
Yeah,
A.
people are really fucking
See,
weird
those
and
those are the kind
crazy.
of people that make me want to say that no one should have guns, but
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things though. Like that sucks. It's kind of the idea of like whenever you go to school, the generation before you were shitheads, so they took away shit, so you couldn't even like have a chance at using it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they would inflict rules on you, even though it was the generation before you
Yeah.
that fucked shit up.
Or like I did always hate in school when like one kid would do something bad and so then they punish the entire school for it.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's basically what this would be. That would be.
Yeah, but I mean, also that's children playing with basketballs and not people with deadly weapons.
That's true.
True.
Yeah, it's totally a different
Yeah.
context.
Because I mean, you could be a responsible gun owner, and it can come in handy in multiple situations. But when you accidentally hip fire it at your own children, like, come on,
Yeah.
that's some ultimate Darwin Award bullshit. Like,
Dude, I think Darwinism needs to make a comeback.
yeah,
Survival of
Definitely
the
should.
fucking fittest.
But if
Kill
it
the
was
weak.
for Darwinism, Jeremy wouldn't be here.
true. I really wouldn't.
Yeah,
Because-
me
My
and Brandon would
gene
have
is-
already fucking slaughtered him
Well, I
and then
was
be
saying
fighting
this-
each other, and I'd probably die to Brandon.
I was saying, as we discussed earlier, my genes are very bad, so
Yeah.
it's fine. That's why I just don't have kids. I'm Darwining myself.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I was watching a video earlier,
Mhm.
and I just want to
Yes.
get y'all's take on it. I think we may have talked about it a little bit already, but so is it more offensive for a man to ask a woman how much she weighs, or for a woman to ask a man how tall he is?
I mean, I'm 6'3", so I don't give a shit. But I ain't dating no fat bitch.
I don't know. It's weird because like part of me wants to be like, since weight is something you can control for the most part, and height isn't, that it should be more offensive to make fun of someone's height.
Exactly.
Yeah, in all seriousness, though, I think
Everybody
it's
else
kind of.
argues the opposite.
I think it's two sides of the same coin in a way, right? Like, because height isn't controllable, but weight is. But also, like, losing weight is something that isn't easy,
Yeah.
right? At all.
But it
And
is
a lot
doable.
of times, you're right, it's doable. But a lot of times, like people who are overweight, it's a lot of times due to it's like part of a coping mechanism or part of like depression or anxiety, right? And they can
Yeah,
eat
more
food to cope.
psychological than it is biological.
And that can be either like because you have to go see a therapist or deal with it in your own way, and sometimes it doesn't work and such like that. I think it's offensive in either way, and I don't think
Yeah.
that should be something that people are judging others for.
Yeah, totally.
But if you're concerned for somebody and them having a weight problem, then that's a different thing, right? People will often take like criticism of their weight as offensive, even though somebody's just concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, because I do
Whereas
think that
height is annoying though, because like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
about
there's
that.
nothing
So
you
if
can
somebody's
do
like,
about that.
"Oh no, you're not over 6 foot tall, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
date you," kind of deal is like, well, that's your right to your preference, but don't shit on me because I don't fit your preference, right?
well, it's kind of
Yeah.
like making fun of people for having glasses. Like they can't
Right.
control that. Like, yeah, they could
They
get
can't control that.
contacts
Their
or something.
genetics is shitty.
Exactly, it's my parents' fault. Make fun of them.
They have 4 eyes.
But yeah, kind of like you're saying, it definitely seems like it should be more offensive to make some fun of something someone can't control. But I do also think that you just shouldn't make fun of anyone for anything. Um, but we do have a pretty bad like culture. Like I think it's okay to be okay with your body and to accept, you know, that you're not in peak physical condition and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also don't think we should glorify people who are unhealthy because of like their weight or something like that.
Yeah, no,
Right.
you should be able to know the difference between accepting your body, but also accepting the fact that it's unhealthy as fuck and not
Hmm.
arguing the fact of, "Oh, well, I'm just fat because I can't be skinny." It's like,
Well,
"No, you're unhealthy, and that's the only reason I'm commenting on it. I'm not calling you fat to make fun of you. I'm calling you fat out of concern." And like, yeah, I get it. You accept you're fat, but you shouldn't. It's a whole weird fucking thing
yeah.
for me.
Well, but it's also I don't think it's anyone's place to tell other people that they're unhealthy unless they're your, loved ones. Like
Well,
you see
yeah, I'm not
people,
saying to this to random fucking
well,
people.
yeah, I know, but
Just walk
a
up to
lot of
someone
people do.
who's overweight on the street and be like, "Hey, fat fuck, you're unhealthy."
Yeah, but people do that.
They do, which is shitty.
And
That's not. That's a
it's not
better way to
even
approach it.
they would probably make the argument that like, oh, I'm just, they're unhealthy and they need to not be unhealthy, but in all actuality, they're just being dickheads. And
Yeah.
so, like, again, you shouldn't
Well,
get
because
in
you
people's
saying that's
business,
not gonna help them fucking have motivation to go work out
right? Like,
No.
if anything, it's just going to
or
make them
diet or
defensive.
whatever. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
like Nick was saying, since it's probably a psychological issue, now they're in a bad mood and they're upset. So what are they going to do? They're going to go eat. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
it's
It's literally the worst thing you can do.
yeah, is to insult someone, but that's just, insult everybody.
Yeah, I've
Because
seen
people
it
suck.
like but I've seen that issue brought up to like family members or whatever. And it's coming out of a place of love and concern that, hey, if you keep this up, you're going to die 30 years sooner than you would.
Well, I
But
also
then
think the
they get all
problem, like,
defensive and fucked up about it.
I
Yeah,
also think the disparity comes from the fact that women are kind of babied in our society, like in an emotional sense. Like as far as like you can make fun of a guy and be just a like shit on a dude, and he should be a man and not
sounds
be
hot.
not be a pussy or not be a bitch about it.
Yeah.
But as soon as it happens to a girl, in any kind of way, it's always like, how dare you? She's a
Yeah.
sensitive.
Well, but I
It
wouldn't
starts
even
to get to the
say
level.
like yeah, definitely people are usually more sensitive around women or towards
I mean,
women.
when's the last time a girl has ever held open the door for you? It never has happened for me. I've never had a female hold open a door for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's
Except
true.
maybe
But
like my
that's again,
mom or
that's
something.
just like a cultural thing, right? Like
Right,
that's
right. But
Yeah.
does
you're
that
just
make it
expected
right
to.
though? Like I'll hold open doors for anybody and everybody, dudes, girls, everybody. I'll hold a door open for you if you're walking towards it. But no, like dudes will hold open doors for me too. But women, they'll walk right in front of me, go through, and let the door start closing behind them. I'm like, okay, fuck you then.
Sometimes they give it, the little extra push to kind of
Nah,
like push it
that's
open
still
so
kind of
you
rare. They
have
usually
you
just
have
walk
like a
through and let
couple
that bitch
seconds.
close.
But I mean, like you're saying, like yeah, I do think people are more sensitive towards women for the most part, but I would say that's how you should treat men.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, like there shouldn't be that disparity, right? There shouldn't be that difference. We're both human. Like, dudes shouldn't be shit on all the time, as well as I think women could be a little bit less like offended at everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely think so. Yeah, but again, it kind of goes back into the whole calling people fat thing, and that and the bottom line of it is that you shouldn't really care about them at all. Like anyone that's not your mother or sister, you should just
That's
treat them
true.
like another normal human being. And don't insult
I feel
them
that
for
too.
it.
Just be decent.
Yeah.
Unless you're friends with them, and then fuck you, Jeremy, and fuck you,
Oh.
Brandon.
Well, see,
You're
How
both
dare you.
fucking
but
ugly.
that's funny to me, right? Because we're like that
Spoken
with
from
each
a
other.
true noodle arms.
But we definitely do that all the time, where we just flat out insult each other. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's based on a reality of something, right? Like, I'll tell Brandon he's a soulless ginger,
Yeah.
which is just truth. And so, but it's not, it's something that I could say to Brandon, and he'd be like, yeah, you know, it happens. But if I ever started insulting just any random person like that, then
It's
it
a
obviously
random
becomes
ginger.
a bad thing.
You soulless
Some-
fucking red fuck. He's like, whoa, bro. Chill.
Wait a second, what the fuck?
I don't know. It's
Oh shit.
weird that, I mean, it's not really weird. It just makes sense that the closer the relationship, the easier it is to, you know, be insulting, but also
Well, and
harder to
especially
actually
with
insult.
yeah, but it's especially just with our generation males
Yeah,
because
it's
we
like
are very dark, morose humor, stuff like that. But then also we're so fucking jaded to life already that nothing offends us.
well, it seems like I don't know exactly because I don't hang out with girls all the time, but girls are always so uplifting with their really good friends. They're like, "Yes, queen, you fucking look beautiful and shit." They're always like super hyping them up, and then dudes are just like, "Yeah, this is my buddy. He's a fucking ugly bitch."
He sucks
He looks
ass.
like a fucking he looks like a goddamn nematode.
A newt.
Yeah. But in some ways, I think that can be almost a closer relationship sometimes.
Yeah,
Well,
you kind of know
because-
each other's strengths and weaknesses a little better.
But we also know like
Well,
they
there's a line
only
there, you
well,
know.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, definitely.
there's a line, of course, but it's one of those deals where we say it to each other because we know that A, they're not going to get offended. B, we know what we're saying is usually not fucking true. We're just talking shit.
It's not how we really feel.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but
But
so- or
on the
continue.
flip side of that coin, we can be straight with each other. We can tell each other exactly what we're thinking and
Oh,
what we're feeling
I'm
at that
never
moment.
straight when I'm around you guys.
You
Same,
know it.
dude. Them thick cheeks
We
got me
both-
acting up.
We boys
Boys.
and we friends.
Hey, if
So
you
we
ain't sucking off your
boyfriends.
homie, are you really homies?
But to kind of tie it back into making fun of fat people, when because we're saying that you shouldn't make fun of something that someone can't control, but when I'm insulting you guys, for lack of a better phrase, I feel like it's better to insult something about you can't control than it is for something you can.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like if I call you an ugly ginger, I feel like that would be less hurtful than me being like, oh well, you're a terrible human being that is bad with money and doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah.
Ouch. I feel attacked.
That's it. Podcast canceled.
We're done. We're not
We're
friends
gonna have
anymore.
two separate podcasts now.
One
Nick, you
with-
have to choose. No. It's fine. I know you'll choose.
¿Por qué no
Brandon.
los dos?
We'll just we'll be in the same Discord server, but me and Brandon in separate voice channels. And we'll just
Yes.
drag you back and forth.
You'll just be talking about like to yourself, asking a question, then pull me in. So, how do you feel
like,
about
yeah,
that,
so
Nick?
what do you think? You're
I'm like, oh,
Fuck.
I just
But
came
no,
from
that-
talking about fairies and wizards. What are we on now? Cars?
oh
Okay,
yeah, we're
holy
talking
shit,
about the
hold on.
mass genocide in Ukraine at the moment. You're like, oh,
Bad.
Russia bad,
insightful.
Ukraine
Russia-
good.
Oh man.
But
All
no,
right.
yeah, like you were saying, Jeremy. I mean, that is a good point of
That was
like
a really good
when
point.
you're close, it's better to attack something they can't control because you know,
You
like-
actually know what their
Yeah.
bad spots, you know.
yeah, but like I can fucking comment about your weight and all that shit
Oh, I'm
because
fat as fuck.
you know you're an unhealthy piece of shit.
Yeah, I am.
But
You can't hear
Like,
me slapping my belly, but
if you
it's happening.
if you insult me for being short, it's like, yep, and there's nothing I can change about that, so it doesn't make me self-conscious at all.
Right?
Yep.
But
Yeah.
if y'all were like, oh well, your beard comes in patchy, I'd be like, and I'd shave it off.
See, dude, I am impervious. I'm tall and skinny. Ain't nothing to make fun of me about.
So what you're saying?
You
is
are
you're a
invincible.
little toothpick boy.
Yes,
Yeah,
dude.
little noodle ass boy. Fucking angel hair spaghetti over
You look
here.
like a freaking piece of pasta about to
See,
snap
but
in the
that's
wind.
something I can control though. I could totally put on weight. See,
Yeah,
that's
you
the thing though.
bulk
Like,
up a little bit.
Yeah.
then you have the friends who don't have like very many because I'm tall and skinny, so I don't have like shit that I can't control. You know, like most of the things I have flaws with
Fucking-
are things I can control. I just
Fucking
don't give a
receding
shit.
hairline ass motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I can't control that. That is genes, dude. Fucking
Mhm.
my grandpa, he lost his hair real early too on the mom's side.
One of these days, Nick, I'm gonna figure out your weakness. I'm gonna make you cry during the podcast.
You make fun of my knobby knees, dude.
You do got some knobby ass
I
knees.
do. I have
Man,
the
are
knobbiest
you
knees.
installing some doors later? Because you got some knobs right there waiting.
Only the worst. Only the worst insults.
And on that absolute slapper of an insult, all right, we're at our time, boys.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if
damn
I'll
it.
recover from that one.
I know. You just all watch me devastate Nicholas, and now we got to go console him and make sure he doesn't kill himself.
Yeah, you gotta make sure I don't drive off the Grand Canyon.
I know
now.
we gotta
I'm getting,
call the
Oh,
I'm
God
captain.
getting
damn it.
geared up now. I'm getting the CT90 started up, bitch.
Oh
I'll see
no.
you guys in 17 hours,
Call the
maybe.
Canyon police. Tell them to be watching out for the motorcycle.
Shit,
Bro.
call the state troopers. Make sure I'm not stranded on the highway somewhere.
On a CT90, it'd take you like 30 hours to get to the Grand Canyon from Dallas.
I do need to get it running though, because Sam has a DT100 Yamaha
Oh
two-stroke,
yeah. Hell yeah.
and we were wanting to road trip the CT90 in his Yamaha somewhere.
Oh hell yeah!
Just taking
Cool.
nothing but 2-lane blacktop.
Oh yeah! Good times.
Interesting.
Anyways,
That
All right.
was-
stop
Well,
bringing up topics.
Jeremy, where can they find us?
You, my good friends, can find us anywhere you listen to your podcasts. That's Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, RSS, that other one that no one talks
Your
about.
mom's
The
house.
Fruit.
The fruit one?
Yeah, the Fruit one.
I wish we
we
were on your mom's
post-
house.
We post mostly every week, except for that one time. Well, that like 3 times. Oh, you
That's
can't prove
fine.
that happened. But with that, I hope everyone has a great week, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.